What is going on, everybody? My name is Japes. Welcome back to another episode in Ye Old Path to Power. I cannot believe that we are already 18 episodes in at this point. And we're picking up where we left off in the weekend league. So we've not been really playing too much on the Path to Power accounts of late, but it is because I played at least a large handful of games in the weekend league. So we're going to have today's weekend league, and then tomorrow we're going to do weekend league. And then tomorrow's going to be a double upload. The second one could be very, very late, but only time will tell on that. So we're picking up where we left off in this 4-3-3 number 2, which I actually really like this formation. Not only do I like the idea of it in principle, in theory, but I, for the most part, like the way it plays. And we're going to just talk. Okay, so I tweeted this out and also made a Reddit post. We're going to talk about qualifying for the weekend league really, really fast. So my thought is that if you guys are already qualified, or if you have qualified through the daily knockout or in seasons, whichever way, do not play the daily knockout tournament. Now, Japes, why would you do this? The coin totals are actually pretty good. And my line of thinking is, one, you are giving other people a chance to qualify, but two, you are also theoretically allowing worse players to qualify. And when worse players qualify, that means that you have a chance to match up with them in the weekend league, which in theory gives you a better chance of a victory, which in theory means that you'll win more games in the weekend league, which no longer in theory, if you win more games in the weekend league, your prizes are going to be better, and those prizes go up by a much greater amount than the measly coin total that you would win for winning 4 games in a row and the tournament itself. So food for thought. Now, of course, you can tell me that my theory and whatnot is completely ridiculous. That's an absolute thunderbolt into the back of the net from Arjen Robben. I called for the wing swap this game, and this is like the first game in a while where I think I felt super dominant. Now, mind you, this is Saturday morning. I think the rest of the games were all Friday night. Now we're into a little bit of last episode was Saturday morning as well, but this is definitely Saturday morning. And I woke up with like a clean head and was like, hey, things are good. Life's good. I'm going to play some FIFA this weekend. Speaking of playing FIFA this weekend, I'm going to need you guys to convince me if you want me to. Well, I still have to qualify for the weekend league for Path to Power. I haven't done that yet, but if you want me to play weekend league for Path to Power, I'm like itching to grind weekend league on my main account and just like not care and go ham on as many games as possible. But that leaves you guys kind of out to dry with Path to Power. And I'm not quite sure where my head is with that, because I have more coins on my main account and I want to put forth a good squad and use those coins to completely take over the world. Now, this would not be good for Path to Power, but if there was ever a weekend for me to grind out the weekend league, it is this one. Lady Japes, my wife, is going to be out of town. So that means I am a solo FIFA guy for the weekend, which means that I do not have all these other distractions that I would normally have, or other things, well, some of the other things that I would like to do. And I could, in theory, play FIFA. We're doing a lot of theory talk today. I'm 100% gonna call this episode in theory. So in theory, if you hold 60% possession, you would think that you have a good chance of winning the game. In theory, if you outshoot your opponent, you would assume that you would, or shots on target and total shots. In theory, you would assume that you would win. And in theory, I would be able to play FIFA all weekend long. All 40 games would be the goal, full of tilt and full of angry, well, not so much angry tweets. I'm not really an angry tweeter. It's more so I have like a thought about something, right? And I just want to share it. It's not like I'm super frustrated about it. And of course, there are still, although I will say a lot less, and I got to give you guys a shout out for that. And I hope I'm not essentially shooting myself in the foot right here, but it's been a long time since I've just seen the like "you mad" tweets. And maybe that has something to do with my attitude. Maybe that is something to do with people just kind of growing up. But I know that I have like a much older general FIFA demographic right now than like a lot of guys do. And it's just like positive vibes. And you guys like essentially in the emails and the tweets and stuff, you're like, hey, this is working for me. I'm super, super curious. Somebody just tweeted me a 4-3-3-2, which we're playing right now, a like crazy custom tactic that they have been using on the FIFA forums. And we're like, yeah, I'm like 50-10 in Division 1, which 50-10 in Division 1 is like, albeit pretty darn solid. I'm not a Division 1 player yet. Do I think I'll get there? Sure, why not? But as of right now, I am not one. So I'm like, hey, this is and it's like, it's meant to be a tiki-taka style. So I'm sitting here thinking, wait, you're telling me you're having success in Division 1 with a tiki-taka style? Because I had literally just tweeted and I really, truly feel like the benefits from playing an ultra-defensive counter-stacking style are huge this FIFA. Like, your defenders just like sit back, you pressure with your midfielders, let your CBs or defenders like AI take over and defend for themselves, and then you just play on the counter. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of possession, doesn't matter if you have a lot of like half-ish like decent chances on goal, because all it takes is one solid counter attack where like midfielders are caught out. The 4-3-3-4 right now is the bane of my FIFA existence. It is a very, very popular formation. But like, okay, so let's see if we can follow my line of reasoning right here, my line of thinking. And you guys can tell me that you're crazy, Japes, and you're wrong, because I very well might be. But when I think of the 4-3-3-4, like you look at it, you are meant to attack, press high up, attack. You want to pin your opponent in, and you want to like absolutely take the attacking game to them. You do not have a holding midfielder. You have three full-blown attackers and an attacking mid. Like, that is a very, very attacking formation in my most humble opinion. The way I see the 4-3-3-4 played, though, is either on park to bus or ultra defensive. They say stay forward, get in behind, on all three of their attackers, and their attacking mid set to like stay forward as well. And really it's just like sit back and defend and wait and wait and wait, and then get the ball and ping it forward as quick as you can and try to outpace the defenders, get like a half chance and hope for the best, because usually it's at least 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 and you're man on man. And when your AI attackers make good runs, then you're going to be in a good situation. So it's just like the bane of my existence, because I just don't feel like the benefit to the playstyle that I've come to develop or want to, or that I call my own on FIFA is a better way of saying it. So my playstyle in my mind of the way it looks, I just don't think it's that great this year. Like, I don't think the quick kind of passing or holding possession, tiki-taka, I should try to play that back to Robin. I don't know why I didn't. That's terrible. But that quick sort of style and really kind of dominating the game and taking it to them and pressing well defensively to win it back quickly, it's just not that great this year. And I will say, like, I am a very, very aggressive defender. I guess a lot and I try to win it back a lot. And this year, I will totally drag my center backs out of position to try to win something back. I blocked that once, the keeper got it, and then I still got scored on. I was very, very sad in this moment. And it's in the 69th minute, I was like, come on, man. But this is exactly the type of goal that I want to be able to score. Like, this goal made me very, very happy, and it's straight away off of kickoff, but it's not one of those rush forward where the defense is like not set or anything like that. So I like this a lot. And you can see, like, watching my playstyle, it's like try to draw people in and then just like go and switch it on and draw some players out. And that's a fantastic finish from Thomas Mueller near post. We're not using the word OP this year. There are a few things that I think are OP. 180-degree passing. So what I mean by that is your player's ability to hit a first-time pass like 180 degrees almost perfectly, like directly behind them. It is pretty ridiculous and very, very difficult to do in real life, to play the ball like with such accuracy, not the way your player is facing. So I think that is a little bit overpowered, or a little bit too strong, if you will. Or I don't know if it's, well, I just don't think it's very realistic. So I don't know if that's an overpowered thing or just a lack of realism thing for me. You can rip me to pieces in the comments and whatever, that's fine. So also, I like the defensive AI. I would like to see people forced to defend a little bit with less of an AI booster seat, right? Because like I want to see people forced to sit at the big boy table, like all by themselves, not with this AI helper. Because like historically, I've been a pretty darn good defender on FIFA, and I think that defending is a really, really tough skill, and I think it should be a tough skill because an elite defender is just like something to behold in real life as well as in FIFA. But the gap has been bridged, and like everybody seems like a really strong defender now. My games, now mind you, this goes against my argument before, because I think with the boost in defending, games are more realistic in the sense that they finish 2-1, 1-0, 1-1, 2-0, things like that. And those are scores you see when you look at the score sheet from how the matches went on a weekend. I would ask you to compare how many matches are there on a weekend? 10, right? Something like that. If it's a 20-team league, say they have 10 matches. If you were to play 10 matches of Ultimate Team and jot your scores down and compare them to what the matches or what the scores looked like in real life, I think they would probably be pretty darn similar this year, which is cool. It hasn't always been that way in past years, because the discrepancy between a really good player and a not so great player has been a lot. And it's been very, very apparent, which is good from a gaming sense, but not so great from a sports simulation sense, which is, of course, like one of the biggest challenges that EA have to tackle every year, and all sports games have to tackle, is getting the competitive balance right and getting the simulation right to add that element of realism and randomness, and balancing that essentially with the realism and randomness. And it's very, very challenging, and it is 100% not a position I ever want to be in. Now, it's 2-goal lead here in this one. Another attack coming up in the 65th minute, and that's looking at the radar. If you guys do not use the radar at the bottom of the screen, what are you doing? It is awesome, and it is Arturo Vidal leading our attack, because King Arturo is the best player on the pitch every single time he steps out there, unless you have a hybrid with Luka Modric, which is how he will be referred to henceforth, because he is the god of the midfield. There is no single better midfielder. Arturo Vidal may be in the conversation, but they do different things well. So they're slightly different types of players, and I think they would complement each other nicely, minus both of them having a high work rate. Unfortunately, Luka Modric, I think he should be more medium on the work rates, but he's high-medium, which in the formation that I'm preferring at the moment on my main account, which is a 4-4-1-1, I've got a cool little hybrid. I tweeted you guys, and I was like, hey, I need some ideas for a sweet hybrid. All it has to include is Luka Modric and the weekend requirements for this weekend league, which are that you can only have 6 players from one league. So only 6 BBVA players around Luka Modric, and I got some cool teams. The team that I ended up going with and building, we've got Lacazette at striker, Ben Yedder at center forward, Intep on the left, Di Maria on the right, Aurier as my right back. And the midfield is, Ben Yedder center forward, and then it's Modric, Casemiro, and then I think like Jimenez, Varane, and Keylor Navas in goal. And on the left, I've got, I can't remember who my left back is. I want to say it's Tremolinas, but that might be too many BBVA players. So I think I maybe used someone else and linked him up with Varane. Just like any French player will do in that situation. So I think I had Evra in my club, so it might be Evra. But it's a tidy little team, and it's working out nicely for me. I've got crazy instructions for that formation, too. Really, really kind of bizarre in the sense that, well, not bizarre, but I've got, like, drift wide on my striker and get in behind, and then my center forward is set to, like, balanced and play as a false 9, but with the striker ahead of him. So it's like kind of unique and really, really fun to use. And I've got stay wide but free roam on my wingers, and then stay back while attacking, I think, is the only one, and stay on the edge of the box for the CMs. So it's unique, it's interesting, and we will most definitely get into that over the next 2 days, and you guys will be able to check that out. Here is the 4-3-3 number 4 bane of my absolute this formation. We're in the 53rd minute, so I felt like I'd done well to kind of defend it and get cleaned out right there. Thank goodness I'd put its shots on goal and I'd had nice attacks, but I had not converted anything. My finishing is still debatable at best. Well, albeit it's getting better, it's just not great. And you guys mentioned, Japes, how do you have that arrow in there for penalties? I don't know, but I want it back. I don't have it anymore. I don't know what the deal is with it, but I want it back. It was helping me a ton, and I was much more reliable with penalties. And now it's just like a bit more of a bot shoot. Penalties this year are quite challenging. I need to go in and get used to it a little bit more. Basically, I aim for like 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock if it was a clock face. Charge it up like 2 bars and hope for the best. It's really the only way, therefore. Or I do a Panenka because I think it looks cool. 90th minute, he finally gets a breakthrough. I don't know why. That was just a devastating goal to give up. It's just like rushing forward, and I don't know why my player not only couldn't step out right there, but why we're like bombing forward and letting Coutinho play like a 1-2 and get in behind right there. It just doesn't make sense to me, and I'm probably guilty. I need to look back at it. I'm probably guilty of bringing my center back up to press, and you just don't do that on this game, guys. Do not do that. Do not bring your center backs out of position. Just let the computer control them. It works so well. Get really fortunate right there. Falstarian Robin, who says he doesn't have a right foot, because I say that he does. So does the 90th minute in this one. And albeit the 90th minute worked out for me this time, the 90th minute has no say on reality in FIFA for me. Crazy things happen. I also took a shot right before that deflected perfectly to my player. These are hashtag just 90th minute things. That is the only way to describe it. And so a very, very positive episode after the Tiltacular extravaganza. But do not worry if you enjoy the tilting and the feels and everything that goes along with the struggle that is so real for me in the Weekend League. We will be back with another tilt-filled episode tomorrow. I want to say thank you guys for your support. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy it, a like or thumbs up is greatly appreciated. But other than that, my name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.